So what is good guys, Adnan here, and quite a few of you have been asking for a desk tour or a setup video, and this being my very first proper desk space in forever, I decided let's do it. The first thing to notice in the desk setup is, well, the desk. This is easily the most popular desk combination in all of tech YouTube, the IKEA Linman tabletop with an Alex drawer unit. I picked a large tabletop since I like having my computer cabinet on top as well as having a lot of free white space. The table has been working wonders for me, especially given its price, and the drawer units do their job just fine as well. Behind the desk is a single strip of RGB lights that just add a little charm to the entire setup, and since I like working with the lights off, they also offer some much needed illumination. The RGB lights aren't smart, so I have the little controller stuffed to the right side of the desk. I mostly like this deep pink aesthetic, but sometimes I do like to change things up with a different color scheme. On top of the desk is my main workhorse that I got custom built right before the pandemic last year. It has pretty decent specs including a Ryzen 5 3600, 16 gigs of RAM and a GTX 1660 Super. The processor delivers more power than I currently need, and the graphics card is honestly able to manage the games I play at the best of settings with really good frame rates. I also added a little RGB strip inside the cabinet, but since there is no flashy components on my motherboard, I usually have this thing turned off. Overall, I'm highly satisfied with this PC and don't have any plans on upgrading anytime soon. A good PC deserves a great monitor, and that is exactly what I have at the center stage of my desk. Out of every single item in my room, this monitor is easily my favorite thing. This is a 24-inch 144Hz curved gaming monitor by Samsung, and despite not being expensive, it delivers a very smooth experience. It has a 4 millisecond response time, and honestly that's the only thing it lacks on paper, but to the untrained eye, this thing is a beauty regardless. It surprisingly has quite a color accurate panel, and the curve is great for immersive gaming or content consumption. My only gripe with this monitor is the lack of a VESA mount. The stand is decent enough but offers no height adjustment, and it also takes quite a lot of space on the desk. That said, this is the best 13,000 rupees I've ever spent on anything in my life. As for the peripherals, I've been using the Redgear MK881 mechanical keyboard for almost 3 years now with very few complaints. Apart from the few LEDs being burnt out, I have no serious issues with this keyboard. But I do want to switch over to a 10 keyless keyboard since I never really use the number pad. Also, the fixed RGB zone thing just doesn't work well with the otherwise all pink setup. For the mouse, I recently picked up the Logitech G502, very unnecessary for the kind of games I play, but a lovely mouse to use in general. It has more buttons than I ever need and a software so powerful that it makes me go a bit dizzy. But the one feature I have started to love is the frictionless scrolling that I use all the time now. The one thing I dislike about the mouse is the DPI shift button that's placed in the worst possible spot for people who have a claw grip. It took me over a month to switch to a different grip style, but at least you can disable any button on the mouse to prevent misclicks. I use these huge Redgear Comet headphones for gaming, watching videos, and even while editing since these are quite flat and accurate despite the headphones' gamery look. Both the keyboard and the mouse rest on this gigantic extended mousepad by Amazon Basics. I love this thing for its size and also the contrast it adds to the blinding white surface of the desk, but it also gets dirty really easily. The only piece of decoration I have on my desk is this fake plant. I'm not into plants per se, but this does make the empty space to the left of my monitor a little less prominent for now. To the right of my cabinet, hidden from plain sight, is my mini charging station. It basically consists of the charging puck for my Mi Watch, a Canon battery charger, and a USB-C cable running out of a WAP charger. All of these, including my computer and monitor, are connected to a power strip that is held below the desk with an IKEA Signum rack. I did my best while trying to manage the cables and I'm pretty proud of the outcome. I used cable ties and paper tape to better manage a few cables as well. The only cables visible on the desk are from my keyboard and mouse, and I couldn't really justify drilling a hole just for them. Without going into much detail, I have the drawers organized as well. The first one is for my daily essentials. This includes my wallet, my meds and other miscellaneous items. The second one is for files and reports, and also my drawing pad, which I have used for a grand total of 5 times since I first bought it. The third drawer is dedicated to my camera gear. This might seem a little empty now since I'm using the camera gear to record this video. The last 2 drawers are just for college stuff, things like documents, notebooks and a little stationery. Some might say my desk setup lacks character, and while I did try to add some of it by pasting 2 posters from my favorite anime on top, I don't really mind not having a lot of character or decorative items on my desk. Like I said, I love clean and empty spaces, and this is exactly what I've built here. There's room on my desk for further expansion, but for now, I'm fully satisfied with what I have and how everything is laid out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing if you liked what you've seen, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.